Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel, English Journey Conversation. I am very happy to see you here today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe to support this channel. Your support means a lot to me. Hello, my English learners. I am very glad you are here. Maybe you are listening while walking. Maybe you are driving your car. Maybe you are cooking food in your kitchen. Or maybe you're just sitting and relaxing. No matter what you are doing, thank you for spending your time with me. I truly appreciate it, and I am very excited to help you improve your English step by step. Today's episode is about a very common problem. Many English learners around the world have this problem. The problem is understanding native English speakers. Yes, I know this is not easy. Native speakers often talk very fast. Sometimes they do not speak clearly. They use slang words and idioms. They also speak in ways that are very different from what you learn in books or classes. This can feel confusing and stressful. Have you ever asked yourself, why can't I understand English speakers? Or maybe you asked, how can I follow their conversations? If you feel this way, you are not alone. Many English learners feel the same, and that is completely okay. You are not weak and you are not bad at English. Here is the good news. You can improve your listening skills. You can learn to understand native English speakers. It takes time, practice, and the right methods. And I am here to help you. In this episode, I will explain everything clearly. I will break the problem into small, easy parts. I will also share powerful tips that can really help you. These tips will help you understand English better. They will help you feel more confident. They will also make listening feel easier and less stressful. Step by step, you will notice progress. Now, let's begin. First, let's talk about why understanding native speakers is so difficult. Why do so many learners feel lost when they listen to real English conversations? One big reason is speed. Native speakers talk very fast. They do not stop between words. They often connect words together. For example, instead of saying, "What are you doing?" they may say, "What you doing?" This sounds very different and can be hard to understand. Another reason is that native speakers drop sounds. They do not say every word clearly. For example, instead of saying, "I am going to," they say, "I'm gonna." These changes happen naturally, but they can confuse learners. Understanding these reasons is the first step. When you know why it is hard, you can start improving in the right way. And together, we will work on that. Sometimes native speakers do not say words the way we expect. For example, instead of saying, "I don't know," they might say, "Den no." They also use contractions. A contraction is when two words are joined together. For example, I'm instead of I am, or he's instead of he is. These small changes happen all the time in real speech. They may seem small, but they can make it hard to follow what someone is saying. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine someone says, "I'm going to go to the store. Wanna come?" In fast speech, it might sound like, "I'm gonna go to the store, wanna come?" Wow, that sounds really fast, right? At first, it may feel confusing. But don't worry. With practice, your brain will get used to it. Listening will become easier, and you will start catching these shortcuts naturally. Now, you might be thinking, but I already know grammar. I know many words. That's great. Grammar and vocabulary are very important. But here's the thing. Spoken English is different from written English. Native speakers don't always speak like the books teach. They speak real-life English. Real-life English is fast, casual, and full of shortcuts. It is not wrong. It's just different from what you learned in school. To really understand native speakers, you need more than grammar and vocabulary. You need listening practice. You also need to learn about real speech, how people actually talk every day. And don't worry. You can absolutely learn this. Remember this. You are not bad at English. You are not slow. You just need the right practice, and I am here to help you step by step. In the next part, I will give you some simple tips. Tips that will train your ears. Tips that will make understanding native English speakers much easier. Are you ready? Let's continue together. Here's another reason why listening can be hard. Native speakers do not always say words the way you learn them in class or in textbooks. For example, instead of saying going to, they often say gonna. Instead of want to, they say wanna. These changes can sound strange if you have never heard them before. At first, it can make sentences feel like a puzzle. But with time, your ears will start to recognize these patterns and listening will feel easier. Another reason is accents and dialects. English is spoken all over the world. Different countries and even different cities speak English in slightly different ways. For example, there is the American accent, the British accent, the Australian accent, and many more. Each accent sounds a little different. The pronunciation, rhythm, and even some words can change depending on where the person is from. This can make listening more challenging at first, but it is also very interesting. The more you listen, the more your ears will adjust, and you will understand more people from around the world. Sometimes even the words themselves can sound different. If you hear someone speaking with a new accent, you might think, is this even English? Don't worry, it is still English. It just sounds a little different. Accents can change the way vowels, consonants, and even whole words sound. With time, your ears will get used to it. Another reason listening can be hard is slang and informal language. Native speakers often use slang when they talk with friends or in daily life. Slang is casual, sometimes funny, and often not taught in school. For example, when someone says, "What's up?" they are not asking about the sky or the weather. They just mean hello or how are you? These small phrases are everywhere in real-life English. If you only study textbooks, slang can seem confusing at first, but with practice, it will become familiar. The third reason is connected speech. This is when words blend together in a sentence. Native speakers rarely pronounce every word slowly and clearly. Instead, words join and flow together. For example, I'm going to go might sound like I'm gonna go, or even in Jenny go when said quickly. Connected speech can make English sound fast and strange at first, but this is completely normal. With listening practice, your brain will start to recognize these patterns, and it will become easier to understand. Remember, native speakers do not speak perfectly all the time. They speak fast, use slang, make small mistakes, and shorten words. This is normal. Understanding English is not about hearing every word perfectly. It is about getting used to how real English sounds. And the good news is, you can improve with practice. Here are some tips to help you understand native speakers more easily. Tip 1. Listen to real conversations. To understand native English, you need to hear real-life speech. This means listening to natural conversations, not just slow, clear recordings made for learners. You can listen to podcasts, YouTube videos, TV shows, or movies. Choose topics you enjoy: sports, cooking, news, fashion, anything that interests you. When you listen, do not worry about understanding every single word. Focus on the main idea. Try to understand what the conversation is about. If you miss a word or two, that's okay. The important thing is to catch the overall meaning. Listening to real English regularly will train your ears. At first, it may feel fast and confusing, but the more you listen, the more familiar it will become. Your brain will start to recognize patterns, connected words, and slang phrases. Over time, understanding native speakers will feel much easier and natural. Here are more tips to help you understand native English speakers better. Tip 1. Keep listening. Listening to English regularly is very important. At first, it may feel too fast or confusing. That's normal. Don't worry about understanding every word. You can always press pause or rewind when you need to. The more you listen, the more your brain will learn the rhythm and patterns of English. Over time, listening will feel easier and more natural. Tip 2. Pay attention to accents. English is spoken all over the world, and people from different places sound different. A person from London sounds different from someone in New York or Sydney. If you know you will talk to people from a specific country, like the USA or the UK, try to practice listening to that accent more often. Watch movies, TV shows, or YouTube videos with that accent. Listen to native speakers from that area. At first, it might feel hard, but little by little, your ears will adjust and understanding will become easier. Tip 3. Focus on the important words. When native speakers talk fast, you will not catch every word, and that is okay. Instead of trying to hear everything, listen for the key words. These are usually nouns, verbs, and action words. Small words like is, are, the, and to are often skipped in casual speech. For example, someone might say, "She going home," instead of "she's going to her home." Even if you miss the small words, the main meaning is still clear. Try this trick. When someone says, "I'm going to the store to buy some groceries," you don't need to hear every word. Just catch the key words, store, buy, groceries. From these words, you know the main idea. They're going shopping. You can practice this by listening to short conversations. After listening, ask yourself, what were the most important words? What was the main idea? Over time, your brain will get faster at noticing these words, and you will understand much more without feeling stressed. Tip 4. Don't worry about perfection. You don't need to understand every single word. Even catching 60% of the words is enough to understand the message. Focus on the meaning, not the details. The goal is to get used to how real English sounds and to recognize patterns in speech. Listening this way will make conversations easier and much more enjoyable. Here are more tips to help you improve your listening skills. Tip 5. Use subtitles. Subtitles are very helpful when you watch TV shows, movies, or YouTube videos. They help you in two ways. You hear the words and see the words at the same time. This helps your brain connect the sound with the meaning. If you are a beginner, start with subtitles in your native language. When you feel more confident, switch to English subtitles. English subtitles help you learn new words, see how words are pronounced, and understand real speech. Later, try watching without subtitles to practice listening only. Remember, not all subtitles are perfect. Sometimes they don't match exactly what people say, especially with slang or informal speech. That's okay. Use subtitles as a guide, not a crutch. As your listening improves, you will rely on them less and less. Tip 6. Break speech into chunks. Native speakers often speak in long sentences that can feel overwhelming. Here's a secret. Even native speakers pause naturally when they talk. You can use this to your advantage. For example, listen to this sentence. I went to the store. Then I saw my friend, and we got some coffee. You can break it into 3 smaller parts or chunks. I went to the store. I saw my friend. We got some coffee. When you practice, pause after each chunk. Try to understand that small part before moving to the next one. This makes fast English much easier to follow. Tip 7. Try shadowing. Shadowing is a powerful technique to improve your listening and speaking. Shadowing means you listen to a sentence and then repeat it immediately, just like a shadow follows a person. Try to match the speaker's speed, rhythm, and pronunciation. This technique helps your listening, speaking, accent, and confidence. To practice, find a short video or audio with natural speech. Listen to one sentence carefully, then repeat it exactly the same way. Focus on how the words sound and flow together. Shadowing may feel hard at first, but it works very well. Over time, your ears will recognize fast speech, your pronunciation will improve, and understanding native speakers will become easier. By using subtitles, breaking sentences into chunks, and practicing shadowing, you are training your brain to understand real English. These tips work together to make listening easier, faster, and more enjoyable. With regular practice, you will notice big improvement. Listening will feel less stressful, and understanding native speakers will start to feel natural. Tip 8. Practice shadowing and repeat what you hear. Shadowing means listening to a sentence and repeating it immediately. Try to sound like the speaker. Don't worry if you don't get it perfect at first. Keep practicing, and it will get easier. Shadowing helps your listening, speaking, and pronunciation. Most importantly, it helps you understand real spoken English. Over time, your brain will get used to the speed, rhythm, and flow of natural conversations. Tip 9. Listen to different accents. Earlier, we talked about accents. English is spoken in many countries, and each country has its own accent. For example, there's American English, British English, Australian English, African English, and many more. At first, a new accent may feel hard to understand, but don't avoid it. The more you listen to different accents, the easier they become. You can practice by watching shows or movies from different countries, listening to podcasts with speakers from around the world, or finding YouTubers who speak in different accents. Each accent sounds a little different. The words are mostly the same, but the way people say them changes. For example, watch a British movie today, an American show tomorrow, and an Australian video the next day. Listen carefully. Notice the differences in pronunciation, rhythm, and expression. With time, your ears will adjust, and understanding all types of English will become much easier. You will also feel more confident talking to people from any country. Tip 10. Slow down the audio. Sometimes native speakers talk too fast, and that's okay. You can use a simple trick to help. Many apps, like YouTube, podcasts, and audiobooks, let you slow down the playback speed. Try slowing it to 0.75x or 0.8x. This lets you hear each word more clearly and notice the rhythm of the sentence. Slowing down the audio is a great way to practice listening, especially when you are just starting. Over time, you can gradually increase the speed until you are comfortable with normal fast speech. By practicing shadowing, listening to different accents, and slowing down the audio when needed, you are training your brain to understand real English. These tips help you catch the main ideas, notice the words, and become familiar with natural speech. Remember, understanding native speakers is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. Be patient, keep listening, and celebrate small improvements along the way. Tip 11. Don't be afraid to ask. If you are in a conversation and don't understand something, it is perfectly okay to ask. You can say things like, "Sorry, can you say that again? I didn't understand. Can you explain it another way?" Most people will be happy to help. They know English is not your first language, and they will respect you for trying. Asking questions shows that you care about learning. Never feel shy or embarrassed. Everyone makes mistakes while learning, and asking is part of improving. Tip 12. Use context clues. Sometimes you will hear a word you don't know. That is normal. You can often figure out the meaning from the context, which means looking at the situation or topic to guess what the word means. For example, if someone says, "I'm going to grab a bite," you might not know the word bite. But because the topic is food, you can guess they mean eating something. Another example, the car broke down, so we called for a tow. Even if you don't know the word tow, you can guess it has to do with getting help for the car. Your brain will get better at this with practice, and it becomes easier over time. Tip 13. Be patient with yourself. Learning English takes time. Understanding native speakers can be hard at first, and that is completely normal. Everyone learns at a different pace. Sometimes you will not understand every word. Sometimes you will feel confused or make mistakes. That is okay. It is all part of learning. Remember to be kind to yourself. You don't need to understand everything right away. Fluency takes time. You won't become perfect in one day, and that's okay. Every time you listen to English, your brain is learning and improving. Step by step, your listening skills will grow. The more you practice, the easier it will become to follow conversations. The most important thing is to keep listening, keep practicing, and never give up. Celebrate small improvements along the way. With time, patience, and the right practice, understanding native speakers will become easier and more natural. You are capable of learning, and every effort you make brings you closer to your goal. Even if you don't notice it, you are improving. Every time you practice listening, your brain is learning the sounds, words, and rhythm of English. Over time, listening will feel easier. If you feel tired or frustrated, take a short break and come back to practice. Learning English is not about being perfect. It's about getting a little better every day. Even small victories matter. Understanding a new word or a sentence you didn't understand before is a big step. These small wins add up. Soon, you will feel more confident and comfortable listening to native speakers. Tip 12. Try listening comprehension exercises. If you want a more structured way to practice listening, try exercises made for this purpose. These usually include short audio clips followed by questions. You listen and then answer questions based on what you heard. You can find these exercises in apps, websites, or English textbooks. Some clips are conversations, while others are news, interviews, or short lectures. Start with easy levels, then slowly move to harder ones. These exercises help you focus on important details, improve listening, and understand different ways people speak. They are very useful for real-life communication, too. Tip 13. Build your vocabulary. The more words you know, the easier it is to understand English. Fast conversations can be hard if you only know simple words. Try to learn new words every day. One way is to write down new words you hear in videos, podcasts, or conversations. Look up their meanings and practice using them. Focus on words used in daily life, like buy groceries, make plans, take a break. Also, learn common word combinations called collocations. For example, make a decision, make a mistake, make an effort. Learning words together like this will help you understand and speak English more naturally. Tip 14. Learn idioms. Native speakers often use idioms. Idioms are special phrases that don't mean exactly what the words say. For example, it's raining cats and dogs doesn't mean animals are falling from the sky. It just means it's raining a lot. Idioms are very common in real English, so learning them will help you understand conversations better and sound more natural when you speak. By practicing listening regularly, using comprehension exercises, building your vocabulary, and learning idioms, you are training your brain to understand real English. It may take time, but every step you take brings improvement. Be patient with yourself, celebrate small successes, and keep practicing. Step by step, you will understand native speakers more easily, speak with more confidence, and enjoy English even more. Tip 15. Learn idioms. Idioms are phrases that don't mean exactly what the words say. For example, it's raining cats and dogs doesn't mean animals are falling. It means it's raining a lot. Idioms can be confusing at first, but they are very common in natural English. To get better, listen for idioms in shows, podcasts, or conversations. Write them down, look up their meanings, and try using them when you speak. Start with simple, common idioms like break the ice, to start a conversation. Hit the books, to study hard. Under the weather, to feel sick. With time, you will understand more idioms and feel more confident during conversations. Tip 16. Practice active listening. Active listening means really paying attention when someone is speaking. You're not just hearing the words, you're trying to understand the meaning. To practice, focus on the speaker's tone, body language, and situation. Try to repeat what they said in your own words, a skill called paraphrasing. If you can say the message in your own words, it means you understood it. Also, don't interrupt. Let the person finish speaking so you can catch all the details and understand the full message. Tip 17. Join conversation groups. Talking with other people is one of the best ways to improve listening and speaking. You can join online groups, apps, websites, or local English clubs and meetups. In these groups, you can practice speaking with other learners, talk to native speakers, hear different accents, learn in a friendly, relaxed space. When you join a group, focus not just on talking but also on listening carefully. Try to understand what others say before you respond. This will help you follow real conversations more easily. Tip 18. Focus on stress and intonation. In English, stress, which words are spoken louder or stronger, and intonation, how your voice rises or falls, are very important. Stress and intonation can even change the meaning of a sentence. For example, I didn't say you stole my book can mean different things depending on which word is stressed. Stress on someone else said it. Stress on didn't, I never said it. Stress on you. Someone else stole it, not you. Pay attention to how native speakers stress words and change their tone. Listening carefully to these patterns will help you understand the meaning even if you don't know every word. Tip 19. Practice stress and intonation. In English, the way you stress words and change your voice, called intonation, is very important. Stress and intonation can even change the meaning of a sentence. For example, I didn't say you stole my book. Depending on which word you stress, it can mean different things. Stress on someone else said it. Stress on didn't, I never said it. Stress on you, someone else stole it, not you. To get better, listen to how native speakers emphasize words. Notice how their voice goes up and down. Try repeating sentences with the same rhythm and tone. This will help you understand spoken English better and sound more natural when you speak. Tip 20. Use transcripts and listen again. Many videos and podcasts have transcripts, which are written versions of what is said. Here's how to use them. Listen to the audio without reading. Read the transcript to check what you missed. Listen again while reading the transcript. Finally, listen without the transcript. This method helps your brain connect the sounds you hear with the words you see. Over time, you will understand spoken English better and rely more on listening rather than reading. Tip 21. Learn to recognize filler words. Native speakers often use fillers like, or like. These words don't add meaning. They're used when someone is thinking or pausing. At first, fillers may confuse you, but don't worry. When you hear fillers, try to ignore them and focus on the important words. The more you listen, the easier it becomes to recognize and filter them out. This helps you understand the main message of the conversation. Tip 22. Watch TED Talks and educational videos. TED Talks are excellent for listening practice. Speakers come from around the world and talk about interesting topics. The good news is that most speakers talk clearly and not too fast. You can watch with English subtitles or use transcripts to help you follow along. Start with subtitles if you need them, and later try watching without subtitles to train your ear. Educational videos are also great because they teach useful vocabulary and ideas while helping you practice real listening skills. By focusing on stress and intonation, using transcripts, recognizing fillers, and watching educational videos, you are training your ears to understand English more naturally. Over time, conversations will feel easier, and you will feel more confident listening to native speakers. Tip 23. Watch TED Talks regularly. TED Talks are not only interesting, they are very helpful for learning English. Speakers use clear pronunciation and talk about big ideas. By watching TED Talks, you can learn new words, understand how to follow ideas in English, and hear natural speaking patterns. Watch them regularly. It's fun and a great way to improve your listening and vocabulary. Tip 24. Focus on practical vocabulary. To understand native speakers better, it's important to learn everyday words. You don't need only difficult or advanced words. Native speakers often use simple, common words in daily life. Start with vocabulary about food, travel, work, shopping, and hobbies. Practice using these words in sentences. When you hear them in real conversations, you will understand quickly. Learning practical words makes daily conversations easier and more natural. Tip 25. Listen to different types of audio. Try different kinds of English audio like news, podcasts, radio, interviews, or YouTube videos. Each type has a different style. News, more formal English. Podcasts or YouTube, casual, everyday English. By listening to many types, you get used to different speeds, styles, and words. This will help you understand English in many real-life situations. Tip 26. Keep a listening journal. A listening journal is a great tool to improve your skills. In this journal, you can write down new words you hear. Note phrases or expressions you don't know. Write where and how the words were used. Write what the speaker was talking about. If a word or phrase was hard to understand, highlight it and review it later. Practice using these words in your own sentences. Writing and reviewing helps you remember vocabulary and understand it better next time. Tip 27. Use apps and technology. Today, it is easy to practice English anytime, anywhere using apps and online tools. Some helpful apps are Duolingo for daily English practice, Babbel for learning words and phrases, Memrise for vocabulary and listening exercises. These tools give you structured practice and can help improve your listening and vocabulary gradually. You can listen to short lessons, repeat sentences, and learn new words at your own pace. By watching TED Talks, focusing on practical words, listening to different types of audio, keeping a listening journal, and using apps, you can train your brain to understand real English better. Step by step, your listening will improve, you will understand native speakers more easily, and you will feel more confident in conversations. Tip 28. Use more apps and technology. There are many apps and tools that make learning English easier and fun. You can practice listening, speaking, and vocabulary anytime, anywhere. Some useful apps are flashcard apps, to remember new words you hear. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube for listening to stories, news, or shows in English. HelloTalk, Tandem, to talk with native speakers and practice real conversations. Most apps let you slow down the audio, repeat difficult parts, and practice at your own pace. Using technology helps you track your progress and makes learning more enjoyable. Final words: thank you for spending time with me on the English Journey Conversation channel. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and learned some helpful tips. Remember, understanding native speakers takes time, but you can do it. Be patient, be kind to yourself, and keep practicing. Every little step matters. Celebrate small victories, like understanding a new word or catching a full sentence in a TV show. Quick recap: today we talked about why native speakers can be hard to understand, easy, practical tips to improve listening, techniques like shadowing, breaking sentences into chunks, and using apps, the importance of practice and regular listening. Even 10 minutes a day can make a big difference. What can you do now? Listen to a short video and shadow the speaker. Watch a TV show and focus on connected speech. Keep a listening journal. Use an app to practice words you learned. Every time you do this, you are getting better and improving your English step by step. Let's stay connected. Share this lesson with friends. We learn better together. I'd also love to hear from you. Which tip was your favorite? What's working best for you? Do you have a tip of your own? Leave a comment, send a message, or tag me on social media. I want to celebrate your progress. And don't forget to subscribe to the English Journey Conversation channel. This way, you won't miss the next lesson. Next time, we'll talk about a new topic to help you speak more fluently and confidently in English. I'm so proud of you. You are working hard, and it really shows. Remember, learning English and becoming fluent is a journey, and you are on the right path. Keep going, keep practicing, and most importantly, believe in yourself. You can do this. See you in the next episode.